I wasted so much of my life being sad and scared.
What were you scared of?
Just I I have like every kind of anxiety that you can think of, along with the extensions of like paranoia and seeing things that aren't seen by most of the population. So
Welcome to episode 4 of a brother and a sister podcast. Oh my goodness, we got deep in this one, talking about mental health, fear, anxiety, our childhoods, and nature versus nurture, and I just want to give my brother the biggest shout out and the biggest hugs of just being so bold and vulnerable about the mental health. It's like, this is a struggle, but it's not who he is. It's not who anyone who struggles with it is. And it's just a darkness that you fight and you keep standing up to and you keep surviving. Let's just jump into the episode.
I'm
I'm
gonna
the
do that,
sister.
and I'm the bro.
What feels important to talk about?
I was thinking this last night, and it said, and I was when my deep thoughts being extremely high, and I'm like, I've wasted so much of my life being sad and sorry, or something, or sad and afraid, or you know something. But it kind of had a ring to it, so I was like, gonna try to. I really wish I had a notebook because there's just something special to me about writing something out.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
But
still haven't gotten him his notebook.
and a
you
package of
can get him
pens.
so cheap, man.
I know, especially like in a couple months when back to school sales happen. But I don't want to wait that
Exactly.
long. I
But
don't
don't
want to wait.
wait that long.
I just want a yellow notebook, and I don't care. And you can lie to me and tell me it's not yellow, and I won't know. But still, I just want a yellow notebook.
You'll know the first time you put on your glasses and you see it. Of
Yeah,
course, I'm gonna get you a yellow notebook. I'm gonna get you what you want. You know that.
you can't lie to me. Just
No, I
kidding.
can't lie to you.
I'm dumber than a box of rocks.
You're not.
Stop it.
Ow! Should have had a V8.
So, so, bringing it back, were having this thought about how you wish you hadn't wasted so much time feeling sad and hopeless.
Sad and scared, I think it was. I wasted so much of my life being sad and scared.
What were you scared of?
Just I I have like every kind of anxiety that you can think of, along with the extensions of like paranoia and seeing things that aren't seen by most of the population. So it's like
Have you ever met
I'm like a
anybody?
ball of energy of anxiety.
Have you ever met anybody that could see the same things that you're seeing?
Sometimes Abby, I swear Abby does, or Punky might.
I don't see. I don't see what you're seeing.
I think Punky does though.
I have the same um mental condition as him. I'm also bipolar type schizoaffective. But my hallucinations, when I have them, are all auditory. I don't have visual hallucinations.
Yes, and I have auditory and visual and paranoia because I'm a paranoid schizophrenic with
So am I.
slash schizoaffective because I also have bipolar traits. But
Do you like ever help each other to like, do you see that or do you hear that? Like,
oh
what,
yeah, yeah, I'm constantly. I don't even know how many times a day I probably ask Abby if she sees something or hears something or smells something because I also have olfactory. Is that how you say it? Olfactory, the nose.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, hallucinations. Like sometimes I'll smell like just the randomest stuff you could imagine, like pancakes or gasoline or gas or whatever, fire. But sometimes I'm validated because like one time we were in New Hampshire with Lily, and I was smelling this really strong fire, and nobody else was smelling it. And then later that morning, I was reading the news, and there was this massive apartment fire not that far away from us, and
Oh,
we'd actually heard the ambulances and paramedics and fire trucks going,
So in that
but didn't
case,
put
it,
it together.
it wasn't a hallucination.
Yeah, so I was validated that time.
Yay,
Which is a good thing.
validation.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a really good question. What was it? Do you think that if you hadn't felt like you had to repress who you are for so long and just shove it all down, do you think that you wouldn't have so many mental health issues now? Or do you think they're totally separate and you would you would be struggling just as much even if
um,
you'd been totally validated the whole way through?
I think it's a lot of that nature versus nurture thing that they talk about with like serial killers and like in crime. It's which don't even get me
Good,
started
good
about
job,
that.
Les. Compare yourself to serial killers.
No, but well, I could be. I mean, I have so much in common with all these major serial killers, like paranoid
Les,
schizophrenia and
Les,
stuff.
Les. Shush.
I'm not a serial killer. Did you? She knows the grasshopper story. She knows the grasshopper story because she's one of them that killed it, and I was the one that was crying. You remember that when you and Alex put a grasshopper inside of an empty flashlight and were throwing it around?
I do not remember that.
I remember that, and I was trying to get you guys to stop because I was so terrified that the grasshopper was going to die. And then I tried to do CPR on it later, and then that you were gone by then, doing whatever else you were doing. But I remember when you and Alex did that, you were
Oh
throwing it
man.
back. We were throwing a live grasshopper inside of an empty, like those the regular old flashlights that mom had.
I know
And
what
we're
you're talking
throwing it
about.
back and forth in her across the street in front of Alex and Inez's house.
That's so weird.
I don't know where that came from, but I just remember that. Probably because I have a very deep connection with grasshoppers for some reason. Like they always let me take their picture when I talk to them, and
Wow. So what was the point leading into that?
um, I think it was your question about
The point leading into that was he wouldn't be able to be a serial killer because he couldn't even stand to watch a grasshopper get hurt.
and one time I squashed one time I when I was in my early 20s I accidentally sat or squashed a ladybug and I cried for like 2 hours
Oh.
just because my heart hurt so bad for it. But I don't know. Um,
So
you said something about like not parents, but if I wouldn't have been had to been so repressed, would I be so anxious today? Really,
mhm.
like um, I think kids that grow up in healthy environments, like Matt too, you can edit their names out, but nobody's gonna see them or know them because they won't be in here. Um, they're great kids. They're great kids, but their parents are amazing people, and their parents have never made them have to hide or do anything. They can be what they want. They can
Their parents are the ones we live with. My
Mm,
best friend from high school and his wife.
like
okay.
even if they weren't doing all that for us, I would still think they are amazing people because of just I can tell that I can see it in their
They're
I can
incredible
just see
people.
it. They just have a light that shines. But
Mm,
and then you compare that to some kids that grow up in unhealthy environments that become the serial killers. So sometimes I think that nurture means a lot in that thing. But then sometimes, like even as far back as pregnancy, when I was trying to explain how sometimes how to me how I see trans things is like science. Like I tried to explain science to mom and dad about how
good
hormone
luck with that.
imbalances that she had hormone imbalances and she was very sick with me. She wasn't as sick with you, but she was so sick with me that she could have passed stuff on or like our mutations happen in DNA and stuff, and that's how things happen. And it's not
Hmm.
caused by vaccines, so shut your yaps. But you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just really believe in nurture and nature, but I think that nurture means a lot too. But obviously, nature comes first when before you meet your child that comes out of you.
Yeah. And
But
then there's
even
like the whole spiritual element. Like I
yeah,
have a friend who is going on this crazy spiritual path. She is just like exploding. Her chakras are exploding. I don't know.
that sounds like
And
Kelsey Davies.
and she real found like did this. this deep meditation process, and there was like this box inside of her that was all the trauma of her ancestors. Like they had locked it all up and they had passed it on over to her and it had been inherited over to her. And she's like, I don't want this.
That makes so much sense because like I always talked to Abby about um having like there's this thing with Holocaust survivors, their kids and their grandkids and their great grandkids and great grandkids have trauma that's passed down from generation to generation. It's called generational trauma, you know.
Yeah.
And like that makes sense with what you're saying about having your ancestors guilt and shame for ruining the family name and blah blah blah, and carrying that with you and carrying that and passing that on to your generations in the future, you know.
Yeah. Like we are breaking these patterns just in existing and in not continuing them on, not passing them on to somebody else, not like, okay, here's the burden that I've carried around for the last 5,000 years. Now it's yours.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's just the way it goes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Without
Sometimes you
passing
pass
it
on more
down.
than your family name. Uh, yeah, I
It's like
know
you
it.
either choose to carry it and say like, okay, but the problem is when you don't even know you're carrying it. You don't even know that that's the thing that's part of weighing you down.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna start doing a lot more meditations on stuff. I wish I had money to get stuff on apps. Because there's lots of meditation apps that are out there, but they only have free trials, and I'm like, I don't want to get sucked into it and then not be able to get it anymore until
I
I get money.
have an app for you. I'm on this app too. I have some of my podcasts uploaded over there. It's
Oh
called
yeah,
Insight Timer, and there is a paid version, but there's plenty of free content on there.
I don't know what happened to that app. I was looking for that app because I remembered because I remember going sometimes I just doom scroll on my own Facebook posts to make sure everything looks okay and nobody's posting it because I have absolute paranoia that my accounts are going to get hacked again. Like I'm constantly checking for threats and and everything. It's a paranoia thing that's extreme, but
Hmm.
when, um it was actually on that app before I knew you were on it, and I found you because it recommended you to me. I was like having like a Twilight Zone moment. I'm like, I know her, and I was like, oh my god, it's. And I was like, what? I texted you. I'm like, I was just about to tell you about this app I found, but apparently you already know about it
Yeah.
because you're on it.
Yeah, meditation is such a powerful thing of just like,
If you can slow your mind enough to be able to do it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I have that problem.
But
yeah,
there's so many things to do to ground yourself that it doesn't have to be sitting in silence. Like it can be walking. It can be clapping and dancing. Like it's just feeling your body, being in your body and being connected to something deeper than yourself. Like when in remembering, like, I am not just this meat suit, I am a spirit having a physical experience.
yes. You would absolutely love Kelsey Davies. Shout
Oh
out to
yeah, yeah.
Kelsey. I love you. Marry me. But don't get rid of Drew.
Hey!
Don't get rid of Drew. I love him too.
I'm
Anyway,
just I've looked at some of the thumbnails and it looks like it's like, ooh, scary, going
no,
into a haunted place. I'm like, I don't
No,
want to watch.
she does that
it's
sometimes.
not.
But if you watch her vlogs and stuff, she is
Uh,
actually a very spiritual and she's very young. She's like in
mhm.
her early 20s, I believe. But she's like very wise and enlightened. Like she's reached
Cool.
enlightenment.
I believe you.
It's very
Yeah.
incredible for her age. Even Abby knows that she's legit, and Abby has a very good
Yeah.
sense of
It's
people.
nothing against somebody's legitimacy. It's the whole now we're gonna go to a haunted place is just not generally my tea. I'm
Well,
much more like,
yeah.
glitches in the matrix, time travel, um, um, kind of
Then you should
stories.
look if you want to listen. to Glitch in the Matrix stories, just type in Glitch in the Matrix stories with Raven Reads.
Oh yeah, I know Raven.
Yeah, Raven. Yeah, I've told you
I
about
also
Raven. I
like
We
love
used
her.
to we used to listen to Raven all the time when we went to sleep.
And
I also like
Mortis Media.
I also like Anti-Matrix.
I was gonna tell you about her. She was like, she does that one thing like this, and she's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I love her."
Hi.
I know. I was like, "Oh my god," so I'm gonna watch her. But I'm like, Abby probably won't like her, so I'm not gonna tell her about her. But what?
I bet I would love to have you guys share. Oh, sorry. It's not some people don't like to hear you guys.
Oh,
Oh, I don't
it doesn't
care.
bother me.
Okay.
I'm the type of person who calls everybody dude, regardless of
Okay.
gender.
Okay.
So
Because I don't
Yeah,
want to say something that's making anybody uncomfortable.
yeah.
I'm very hard to make uncomfortable.
Oh, me too. Me too.
So sometime it'd be awesome for y'all to share about your paranormal experiences.
Ooh. Oh, I got
Yeah.
one.
That's all him. I really don't have any.
I have pictures, not pictures of actual ghosts yet, but I have like screenshots that I've taken from my ghost hunting apps that I run periodically at
Mm-hmm.
different places different places are her mom's house and here because that's the only two places I really go. But
Mm. What would you lovely people want to say to people out there that are feeling scared? And what was the other thing that you felt you said you wasted time feeling?
sad and scared.
Sad and
I
scared.
think it's
What
that
would you
one thing.
say?
I think it has to go to that quote. Like don't waste 60 seconds of being angry when you could have had 60 seconds of being happy. You know,
Mm,
that's all I can say.
yeah.
For me, it's just be true to yourself. You may worry about losing the people you love and, friends turning their backs on you and such. You'll find your tribe. You'll find your family. And a found family is oftentimes stronger than the bonds that blood can get.
Yeah, we're weird and majorly and dysfunctional and crazy and chaotic, but
But all of our crazies go together.
yeah, we mesh well in a
Yeah.
chaotic, beautiful, disastrous mess, but not really disastrous because
Well, it's like that Kelly Clarkson song, Beautiful Disaster.
yes, I love her.
That's me. That's me.
Yes,
And he's my beautiful tragedy.
yes. You need to look up that song.
But you two and the other partners, of course, but Abby is like your is what would you just say anchor partner?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you especially have that first bond that yeah. So you guys have seen each other through so much.
oh yeah,
Yeah, and that's just been in what the 2 years that you've been here.
yeah. 2 years and like 3 months, 4 months.
And countless times of nearly dying and
Oh yeah, together and because that one time when you were telling me about the mac and cheese,
yeah.
and all the times I've had peanut butter exposures and stuff, and gabapentin exposure, and whatever that one thing was at your mom's house that happened with the
Mm,
pizza box.
But I do everything I can to take care of them.
yeah.
I mean, I have periods of time when I'm not here, unfortunately. Uh, I wish I could stop adulting and just not, but
Oh, I have a message to Uber drivers and Lyft drivers and stuff.
Oh,
Yes, don't keep major allergens in your car because even the dust of it can get on the stuff that you're delivering, and you could potentially kill somebody with an allergy. Hence why I almost died. The delivery guy probably got peanut dust or something on the box of pizza that he was delivering to us.
oh.
It almost killed me at her mom's house when I first got here.
Is it okay if I bring up the thing that happened? I don't remember some months ago about when you thought that you had to leave right away because your anxiety, because the medication is making your stomach
oh,
hurt.
that was like last month.
Was
No, it
it?
was a lot. It was
No, it was
longer
It
2 months
It was
ago
like
was
2 or 3
cold,
because it
months
was when
cold.
ago.
we had to get snaps
Yeah,
fixed.
yeah, it was like March, I think it was.
Yeah.
Shoot. No, it was actually in February.
Is it
It was
okay
early
if I
February.
talk about that real quick?
Yeah. Are
I
you good
am
with that?
just I am just so thankful to you, Abby, for that you saved my brother's life in that time. The anxiety antipsychotic medication makes your stomach hurt, right? So you weren't taking it and you were convinced that they were going to throw you out on the street and so you were going to walk like a mile to a shelter.
Yeah, you didn't know about that.
Yes, I did. Your sister told me about it
Yeah. I was like
because she was worried about you.
I wanted to bring that up because this is just how real the mental health scare is and how real fear is, but but like for anybody else listening, there are people who care about you. Like tell people your plans, tell people what you need. Don't be afraid. Like it's the people who love you will show up and will save you. Like the fact that you told me there was still a cogent part of your brain that was like, this is a really stupid idea and I need somebody to stop me from doing this.
Yeah, that's what I always think about that goes into my thoughts about when you're worried about somebody that's going to take their own life. If they're still talking to you, there's still hope
Yeah.
because it's when they don't talk back or they don't message back or they totally just give up and they don't reach out anymore. That's when you really gotta notice that they're absent, and like reach out and check on your friends.
Yeah. Like I made a Facebook post recently and shared that the first episode of this podcast existed and this cousin of ours did this ridiculous word salad that was so anti-trans and I don't want my children to be confused and if I was a tomboy and they would have given me testosterone like no they wouldn't.
No, it doesn't work like
That's
that.
not how it works.
You know what people kids have to go through to get on hormones sometimes. Like they don't just like go to the doctor once and say, "Oh, here's some hormones." You have to get like therapy. You have to go like a year or two therapy. You have to go through like I have a really good friend. His name's Wesley. Obviously, actually, he's amazing. I love him, and I love his family, and I love his daughter. I've watched that little girl grow up, and she is actually male to female trans too, and she actually transitioned as a kid, really. But that's because her dad is trans also, and knows the ropes, and helps guide her and love her, and But the nature and the nurture thing, she grew up in such a healthy, loving, accepting environment that she is flourishing now. Like she's like freaking Broadway shows now, I swear. And she's like performing and she's just an amazing young woman, and it's because of the nature versus nurture thing, kind of. And,
Mm.
you know, it's so different between her upbringing and my upbringing, not just the generations, because she's her generation is now, and I'm so proud of that. She's this new generation, but like I don't know, like the way we grow up is so different. It's like I feel like I was kind of failed in that way, not downplaying our parents again, but just everything that happened and how I feel like I wasn't strong enough to not be traumatized by it, and
They
I don't
did
know.
their best
Yeah,
with what they knew. They did their best, but there comes a point when people can expand their best, listen to people, get educated, and not just cling desperately to the one thing that you know.
dang it, my finger keeps getting stuck in my water bottle.
Maybe
I'm
move the
putting that.
water bottle further away.
I have to have something to mess around with my
Yeah.
hands. My
Do you
my
have any
ADHD.
fidget toys?
I wish I did, but
I'm
this
sure.
works. It's a cool little thing that snaps, and you
Oh,
know,
nice.
it's one of my comfort items.
Yeah. So is there any last thing that anybody wants to say before we close?
I don't think I have anything except, what I said before. Be true to yourself.
And you matter.
Yes,
Hmm.
you matter. Very much so. You
Yes.
are valid. Your feelings are valid, and who you are is valid. And don't let anybody try and tell you otherwise.
This world is better with you in it. And I'm just so happy for this opportunity to dive into our life and see how it can encourage and makes anybody else feel less alone. And
Oh, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the first video where I sounded really regressed and childlike and like a serial killer. So, apologies for everyone. Hopefully, I sound more human in this
you
one.
sound so cogent right now. It's awesome. And you don't have to apologize. Like, it's literally a thing that you are dealing with, is that sometimes you do regress to a younger age. It
Yeah,
doesn't it doesn't make you sound like a serial killer. It just you're just you're dealing with it. You're surviving through a lot of mental health struggles.
yeah. Katie has to edit all this because like I have a massive fear of actually like seeing myself on screen and listening to my own recording voice. Like I can't do it really. I haven't. I've watched like the first like I don't know how I forgot how exactly how long the first video of ours that you posted is up, but I watched like as much as I possibly could of it before I started crying because my voice just sounded so unlike me.
Hmm. Do you know it is you and this is you. It's all you and it's all worth loving.
I do want to say one more thing. If anybody watching this needs a friend or needs someone to reach out to, or even somebody to come out to, I am safe to come out to. I am safe to message, to talk to. On Twitter and on Blue Sky, I'm Avelyn, Avelyn, Oriana, Oriana. Do not hesitate to send me a DM. I will be more than happy to talk to you and just be there to listen or be a friend.
Hmm. That's awesome. And I have a feeling that my bro would also be open for anybody to slide into DMs if they need some company or.
Yeah, I would. I just have to warn everybody if you message me. Sometimes it takes me a long time to like. I'm very picky about what I say in text messages, and I think about everything in detail ahead of time. So
Mm,
like it takes forever to reply to people, and then sometimes I fall asleep and I don't remember if I replied or not. And then it's like 2 months later, and I'm replying to you saying, "Oh, that's awesome! Congratulations on the baby!" And then I'm like, "Crap, the baby's 3 months old now." But yeah,
yeah, no pressure. And I also want to do the plug again that the best way to support this channel, besides the obvious things that all YouTube watchers know, is this liking and the subscribing and the sharing. The other way is to support Wesley and Avi through PayPal, whatever you would want to give to support their eating and their survival.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're in a really rough patch right now. Um, but anything that you can spare is always appreciated. And like I said, feel free to reach out.
Hmm. Yeah. Thank you so much for saying that. That's really awesome. And yeah, this is longer than normal, but I will probably be cutting things like probably the grasshopper part. Holy shit. Um,
no, you're keeping that. You're keeping that in.
oh, all right. Well, thank you so much. The way that I end my conversations here on all my podcasts is I give hugs.
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 Uh,
Yeah.
tattoo plug. Shout out
This
to
has
Kristen.
nice. This has been the Bro and Sis podcast.
With Abby.
Sorry?
With Abby.
With
With
Abby.
Abby.
Yes.
Where are you?
On my screen, she's down. Perfect. Yes.
Shout out to Ryan.
What?
That's what Ryan does in Twin Paranormal. He goes like this at the end.
Oh. My nostrils of death is cooler.
I don't have nostrils. Hold on, let me get them. There they are.
Sorry,
I can
Abby.
move.
You
I
don't
can
like
move
No
my
that
nose.
worries.
I
part.
can move my nose like a bunny.
All right. I'm going to turn the recording off now.
Okay.
I wanted to let you know that it made me very uncomfortable to leave that part in about the grasshopper, but kids do dumb things, and I don't even kill spiders anymore. I take them outside if I get the chance, or I just say, okay, you leave me alone and I'll leave you alone. So, yeah. That's not what I want you to take away from this and be thinking about. I want you to feel heard. I want you to feel that you matter. Your mental health matters. There are supports out there. I know about the Trevor Project. There is a chat function there, and if you're not in a safe environment, there is a way that you can go to a mode where all the messages automatically disappear. That's at trevorchat.org. They have a quick exit feature. If you hit the escape button 3 times, it quits and erases your browser history. That's trevorchat.org. And this video is not sponsored. I'm not getting any monetary compensation for mentioning it, but I don't want to talk about something as heavy as mental health struggles and not leave you with some kind of resources if you need them, if you don't know about them. I appreciate you. If you want to support this channel, you probably know YouTube at this point, know the different things to do, and the liking and the sharing and the commenting. We would really love to get comments, definitely, and would respond back, of course. And if you'd like to monetarily support the channel, the best way you could do that is to support my brother and Evelyn, and yeah, they're having a tough financial time, so if there's anything that you would feel like you're meant to give, I will put her PayPal link down below, and and you can say what you'd like it to go towards, food or whatever. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Hugs!